Structure of Shakespearean plot. It normally contains 5 acts. It is based on traditions of Greek theatre. In the first act, normally contained the exposition and the inciting action, introduction of main characters, the setting, and their background, etc. It also creates the central conflict that would drive the play. The second act usually presented a turning point or series of complications for the main character. The third act often contains the climax or crisis of decision. This is the moment of greatest tension, which the character must make a decisive choice. The fourth act was the falling action, where the results of the climax unfolded. The tension continued to build, but the path towards resolution becomes clear. Finally, the fifth act brought resolution. In tragedies, this usually meant the death of the hero and the restoration of order and a heavy price at a heavy price. In comedies, however, the resolution was often joyful, usually ending with marriages, reunions, and reconciliation. It can be explained by taking one example as tragedy and one example as comedy. Let a tragedy example Hamlet. In Hamlet, the first act. In the first act, Ghost of Dead King tells Prince Hamlet of Claudius' treachery. Hamlet is burdened with the duty of uncovering truth behind his father's death. In the second act, Prince realizes that Claudius and Queen Gertrude are using Rosencrantz and Guildenstern against him. In the third act, the famous soliloquy, To Be or Not to Be, captures his deep conflict over his life, death, and revenge. Soon afterwards, he is convinced of Claudius' guilt and knows that action can no longer be delayed. In the fourth act of Hamlet, the audience still hope for the hero's survival or redemption, but events usually moved steadily towards a catastrophe. In the final act, Hamlet's death, along with the death of other central characters, shows the destructive consequences of revenge. Let it take another example: a a Midsummer Night's Dream. In the first act, in the Midsummer Night Dream, the Duke of Athens sets opening situation by demanding that Hermia marry Demetrius, even though she loves Lysander. In the second act, the lovers move to enchanted forest, where magical interference from Oberon and Puck creates confusion and sets up the main comic disorder. In the third act of Midsummer Night's Dream, all four young lovers chase one another though the woods under the influence of Puck's mistaken enchantment, while the bottom is transformed into ass head. The confusion peaks, providing the comic crisis. In the fourth act, the falling action begins to unravel the disorder. Oberon orders Puck to correct his mistakes, restoring the proper pairing of lovers without more comic moments. In the final act of Midsummer Night's Dream, a conclusion with three weddings. One, Hermia with Lysander. The second wedding, Helena with Demetrius. The third wedding, Theseus with Hippolyta. It followed by the performance of the comical play within a play by Bottom and Company.